Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between... Wow, there's the music. We have an MVP or QIM MVP spawning as the red Terran player here at what I'll call the bottom left-hand side 10 o'clock position. I'm going to go ahead and turn down the music just a little bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and turn that down. I am trying to get a little bit more game music going, and we have I am MVP spawning as the red Terran here. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and disable the music there and just get in the interface sounds. Meanwhile, we have Shew or LG Shew spawning as the blue Protoss. So this will be Protoss versus Terran here on Shakura's Plateau. Game 1 in a best of 3 series, and I am trying to get a little bit more of the game sounds in there for you guys. It's rather difficult to get all of the sounds set up and balanced correctly. If you guys notice, I do generate a lot of videos, and I try to set up everything so that I can get a lot of videos out to you guys quickly. And I know you guys have been asking for more game sounds, not just from 1 or 2 people, so here I am. I have upped it up just a little bit more, and hopefully you guys do enjoy it. Now, this is going to be Terran versus Protoss here on Shakura's Plateau. One of my favorite matchups to watch, as I am the Terran player, or I do play Terran. I'm not MVP. I wish I was MVP, or at least had his skills as this game gets underway. Now, Terran versus Protoss here on Shakura's Plateau. We're going to see what exactly MVP goes for in this matchup. MVP, very, very well-known Terran player out of Korea, as now we see Shew come in and get in a bit of harassment onto this poor SCV. It looks like a fresh SCV going to come off the mineral line and fight back as well. At a third SCV coming in. So the third SCV now chasing around Shew's probe. The probe is just going to wander around here. He may perhaps do a pylon block, but that would not, or a gas block, but that wouldn't make any real sense, as there's no gas in play whatsoever. Now, interestingly enough, we saw that Shew went for a very fast Nexus. So a Nexus first here on Shakura's Plateau. Most likely, we are going to get into an orbital command, followed by another command center coming in from MVP. And MVP will get underway as well, and we'll see what the strategy really will be here. The scouting SCV should notice this very, very fast Nexus here. A gateway is now finally being added, as a command center is being built straight onto the low ground here, and now also adding in a supply depot as well. I believe MVP now scouting, making sure that there are no proxy pylons, but he will know that there's no proxy pylons as soon as he sees this very, very economic build coming in from Shew. Marine up on the high ground here will be able to fend off any more scouting probes. Meanwhile, we are getting into an assimilator here, and we should be starting that warp gate tech as soon as the cybernetics core is done. Probes coming off the mineral line, and there is a lot of energy being saved up on this Nexus. And I really question this play. And the fact that there's a lot of energy on the Nexus means that you're not going to have as strong of an economy. And that's really what you're going for, a strong economy, if you are going to fast expand. 2 SCVs and now 2 Marines making their way out. This Marine, going to do a triple bunker on the ramp. Wow, so this is going to be a very aggressive play here. Triple bunkers, and the Zealots and the probes are now trying to make their way over. But is this a complete wall? I do not believe so. This one Zealot should be able to slip through. Now gonna hold that position there. One SCV gets taken down. Gonna go after a second SCV. The second SCV gonna get taken down. The third SCV is currently being built. No problem there. And now trying to repair this one here. Getting in some easy damage. And it looks like all of these bunkers will fall. One probe down. Second probe gets taken down. As we now see a third probe taken down. So 4 workers versus 3 workers killed. 3 Marines now attempting to shoot down this pylon, but a Stalker gonna join in on the fight. The Marines gonna take down the Zealot with ease. There it goes. And now 3 Stalkers against the Marines. The Marines do deal a fair amount of damage, as the Stalker now trying to run away. 2 Marines here, and now we'll see what's gonna happen. The Stalker needs a brother, and it looks like that brother is not gonna be coming out anytime soon. This one bunker is currently getting shot down as well, as the shields are now starting to slowly recharge. Fresh new SCVs joining in on the fight. And now the SCVs are also going to be tanking a little bit of that damage. So MVP putting in a lot of pressure. But now we do have 4 Marines in this group. Poor SCV does get surrounded, but a lot of probes getting taken down as well. The Stalker wants to take down that the SCV, but the SCV is going to finish the bunker in time. And now this front door is pretty much going to be able to deal a lot of damage here. Just enough in range, a range of 6. But the Stalkers now are up on that high ground and will be able to fire away. No way to really get any sight up onto that high ground unless the Marines make their way up there, getting some easy damage onto that poor Stalker. Another SCV needs to start repairing this bunker, otherwise this bunker will fall. The Marines are fighting back. It looks like this bunker is going to be on fire in just a moment. A Stalker may get taken down to 7 hit points. It looks like it will go down, and it looks like the poor SCV was unable to really repair this. 4 Marines still in this group. Another Stalker going to go as the game rages on. 12 worker kills compared to 7. 22 SCVs versus 20 probes as this mass Marine army from MVP just absolutely devastating, walking up the ramp now. You can see Stalkers are being chrono boosted out. The Marines, even without stim, dealing a lot of damage and now going to perhaps be going after probes. Probes are going to have a problem. Now the Stalkers are running away, and now the Marines are just going to go after those probes completely unchecked as a new bunker. No, Marines and a bunker still sitting here. Marines now chasing around still. Stalkers trying to get within range. 2 Stalkers here. 1 Stalker will get taken down. A second Stalker will get taken down as well, as that Stalker now backs off. The shields are starting to slowly recharge on this one guy here, as now I believe this bunker will get salvaged in just a moment. Stim, concussive shell now being researched, and triple Marauders being trained. So this is going to be a complete switch around now. Stalkers trying to run halfway across the map. There are some Marines here. No bunkers in position, though. So without any bunkers, those Stalkers may be able to simply walk up that ramp, but they are going to be punished by the Punisher grenades of those Marauders if they try to make it up that ramp there, and that is not going to be a good fight. In comes the Marauders. The Stalkers are not slowed down. If that attack was just 3 seconds or 5 seconds later, it would have been absolute devastation for LG Shew. 36 SCVs versus 21 probes. You now see even more barracks being added. So only mass tier 1 coming in, and now an engineering bay being added as well. The Marauders and the Marines are making their way out once more. I believe I saw a new command center being built somewhere. I thought I saw one. The wireframe of one. Anyways, as this game does continue, Marauders and Marines holding on to the Zelnaga Tower for just a second as it passes by. And now we are going into some bunkers on the front door just in case there is a counterattack. Stim now being added. 1 sentry, 2 sentries. There's the force fields. And no, the Marines and the Marauders were very careful to not go up that ramp. There are still a lot of Stalkers here. And now the Marauders and the Marines are just going to hold this position. The Zealots would absorb much of that damage. They are not armored units. And now we'll see what's going to happen here as the Marauders and the Marines are now charging up the ramp. It looks like the Zealots are going to back off here. More Marauders coming in. A Zealot just getting absolutely destroyed. There, down it goes. And another Zealot going to get lost as well, as there's not enough energy for any real force fields. Marauders and the Marines are still engaging, and perhaps going to get another shot off onto that Zealot. No, not quite, as more Marauders are still being added to this group. Stalkers are being added, and oh, MVP not careful. Now going to lose a couple of these Marauders, but going to be able to perhaps take down some Zealots. No, the Zealots were able to retreat back up onto the high ground, but the Marauder army conga line still coming into play. And as those Marauders are just added, it is going to be even more difficult, as Stalkers are the only range units here, and Zealots, because of that kiting action and without charge, cannot really engage. And here you go, there's a force field. So a scanner sweep for 2 force fields, and there not much is going to happen at all, as those units are going to back off. There's another round of force fields, and with no real way to see up onto that high ground, it is not working out at all. Army compositions, 2300 versus 1575. The force fields are what is keeping Shew in this game. 56 SCVs, and there we go. There is another scanner sweep off of 2 orbital commands, and this trying to break down this front door. With no Colossi here and no real AoE damage, it looks like MVP can simply walk up this ramp and get a lot of damage here. No, there you go. The Zealot's finally backing off, barely able to see up onto that high ground, and the Zealot does back off there. You can now see a factory making its way over. Medivacs should be added in just a moment. There you go, Medivacs now being added to the group, and the Marauders and the Marines with Stim and Combat Shield will be able to get side up onto that high ground with the help of a factory and with Stim charge up the ramp. If force fields do go down, they can elevator up over here or feint an elevator up over here. As we now see, yes, it is going to be a straight elevator drop up onto the high ground. Marauders and Marines are dropping here. What's going to happen? The units are going to come back around. The Marauders and the Marines are simply stimming in. The front is completely open. MVP now going to stim in on the front. There's this two-part attack, and MVP going to blow open this front door. And I believe LG Shew will have to give the GG in just a moment. Stalkers up on the high ground. More force fields coming in. The Medivacs, there are Marauders and Marines still in this group here, taking down the probes at the main. And now Marines and Marauders engaging at the natural. And there is the GG by LG Shew. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 1 in this Best of 3 series. Stay tuned for Game 2.